Welcome, I am Ava, and this is WNBA Trending. Today's headline highlights the growing influence of Indiana Fever superstar Caitlin Clark, an impact that continues to stretch far beyond the walls of the WNBA. This time, her presence is being felt in a completely different sport, professional golf. Legendary golfer Annika Sorenstam has credited Caitlin Clark for bringing what she calls extra buzz to the Annika, one of the premier events in women's golf. Caitlin Clark's rise to national stardom is no longer restricted to the basketball court. Her influence, visibility, and star power have become so significant that even major figures in other sports are acknowledging her role in elevating women's athletics as a whole. Annika Sorenstam, a pioneer in golf and one of the greatest to ever play the game, recently spoke about how Caitlin Clark's presence at the Annika LPGA event contributed to a surge in attention, fan engagement, and overall excitement. For context, the Annika is an LPGA tournament named after Sorenstam herself, an event known for its class, prestige, and competitive field. But this year, something different happened. Something bigger. When Caitlin Clark showed up, everything changed. From increased ticket sales to heightened media coverage, the atmosphere transformed into something that felt more like a championship final than a typical golf weekend. Annika Sorenstam explained in an interview that Caitlin's presence brings more people to women's sports events, regardless of the sport itself. She emphasized the power of crossover appeal and how Clark is creating an entirely new kind of momentum. According to Sorenstam, this momentum is helping not just basketball, but women's sports across the board. The idea that a WNBA rookie, albeit a historic one, could impact a global golf event speaks volumes about Caitlin's cultural influence. Fans traveled not just to watch the golfers, but to catch a glimpse of Caitlin Clark, interact with her, or simply be part of an event that had Clark's energy attached to it. Even media outlets that typically cover golf were highlighting Caitlin's appearance, signaling her power to shift attention wherever she goes. One of the most interesting parts of the story is how naturally this influence seems to come to Caitlin. She didn't show up at the Annika seeking the spotlight. She wasn't there to make headlines. She was simply attending the event, yet her presence alone created a ripple effect that elevated everything around it. Annika Sorenstam didn't hold back when speaking about Caitlin. She said, "She brings more people and she brings more excitement." For a legend of Sorenstam's caliber to openly praise Caitlin in this way shows the magnitude of Clark's growing cross-sport legacy. It's not every day that a basketball player inspires movement in a sport as traditionally separate as golf. But Caitlin Clark isn't just any athlete. She represents a shift, a generational shift, where women athletes are becoming powerful cultural icons capable of changing narratives, driving audiences, and reshaping the business of sports. This moment also highlights a bigger trend. Women's sports have been breaking viewership and attendance records over the past few years. Caitlin Clark has been at the center of many of these rises. Whether it's WNBA arenas selling out, NCAA tournaments setting new highs, or now golf events buzzing with unexpected excitement, her impact is undeniable. But why Caitlin? What makes her influence so powerful? Part of the answer lies in authenticity. She has always shown humility, passion, and a genuine love for her sport, qualities that resonate with fans of all ages. She has the competitive intensity of a superstar paired with the personality of someone relatable. People feel connected to her journey, her story, and the way she competes. Another reason is timing. Women's sports are experiencing unprecedented media attention. Social media has given fans a direct connection to athletes, and athletes like Caitlin have mastered how to embrace that connection. They engage, they inspire, and they share, building communities around their careers. Caitlin Clark has become a central figure in this movement. The fact that someone like Annika Sorenstam is applauding Caitlin's influence shows how unified women's sports have become. Different sports, different leagues, different athletes, all benefiting from shared visibility. Sorenstam emphasized that it's not about basketball or golf, it's about elevating women's sports as a whole. And Caitlin Clark is helping lead the charge. During the tournament, fans who recognized Caitlin swarmed around her for photos, autographs, and simple conversations. Many young athletes, both golfers and basketball players, approached her with admiration. One young girl told reporters that seeing Caitlin at a golf event made her feel like sports are connected now. That feeling is exactly what Sorenstam meant when she said Clark brings something extra. Even LPGA players acknowledged the buzz. Some said they grew up watching Caitlin play and were excited she was in the crowd. Others said her presence made the event feel bigger. It's a unique moment where a current basketball star is now influencing the next generation of golfers. Caitlin Clark didn't take any attention away from the golfers. She added to it. She redirected the spotlight onto the tournament itself, encouraging fans from outside golf to tune in. Viewership numbers for the event spiked noticeably after news outlets reported Caitlin's attendance. This cross-sport support is rare, valuable, and incredibly powerful. Annika Sorenstam's comments also reflect a changing landscape in media and branding. Athletes are no longer limited to their sports boundaries. Caitlin Clark has become a multidimensional figure, a brand, an ambassador, and a cultural force. Her presence at the Annika demonstrated how one athlete can create multi-sport excitement, driving attention simply by showing up. For Caitlin, this is only the beginning. She continues to build her influence not through intention, but through authenticity. She appreciates athletes in all sports, attends events she genuinely enjoys, and unintentionally inspires fans wherever she goes. Her impact on the WNBA remains historic. She has boosted attendance to levels never before seen. She has increased social engagement far beyond the league's expectations. Ticket demand skyrockets when she plays, and her jersey sales continue to break records. Now, she's extending that influence into other arenas, literally and figuratively. From football games to golf tournaments, her impact travels with her. She shows up, and the event grows bigger. It's not hype, it's reality. Annika Sorenstam's words echo a truth that many have already recognized. Caitlin Clark is becoming one of the most influential athletes of this generation. Not because of one sport, but because of her ability to transcend all of them. Even at such a young stage in her career, Caitlin is shaping the future of women's sports. Her presence encourages investment, increases visibility, and connects fans from different communities. She's building bridges across sports and creating a unified energy that benefits everyone. This moment at the Annika is symbolic. It shows that Caitlin Clark is more than a superstar athlete. She is a cultural connector, a force of growth, and a symbol of a new era where women athletes are recognized, appreciated, and celebrated on a scale once reserved only for men's sports. Annika Sorenstam, with her decades of experience, clearly understands the significance of this phenomenon. Her praise for Caitlin is not only a compliment, it is a recognition of a seismic shift happening in real time. Women's sports are elevating together, and Caitlin Clark is one of the catalysts. As more sports figures, brands, and organizations acknowledge her influence, Caitlin's reach will continue to grow. She will inspire more athletes, attract more fans, and strengthen the bond between different women's sports. For WNBA Trending, this story captures something bigger than a headline. It captures a movement driven by passion, unity, visibility, and the rise of extraordinary women who lead with authenticity and heart. Caitlin Clark didn't attend the Annika to make headlines, but she made history anyway. And according to Annika Sorenstam, she's welcome back anytime. This is Ava for WNBA Trending, and the influence of Caitlin Clark continues to grow.